Hey YouTube, Southwest Piper coming to you with a little bit of a quick video. I hope I want to show you a couple things that I've been cooking up. Smoking a little bit of GLP's Quiet Nights and my one and only Meerschaum pipe that I own, which was a gift to me this past Christmas by my father-in-law. It's very fitting right now because I just started rereading the Lord of the Rings series and just feeling, I'd say I feel more like a hobbit or a dwarf, not of the wizard variety because I'm not tall. Very much enjoy this tobacco. So, what do I want to show you? Well, I've been tinkering in my garage, as I tend to do when I want to clear my mind. And hold on, let me wipe this off because I don't want to show it to you guys and it's all dirty. There we go. Okay, so I've been tinkering in my garage and really wanted to try my hand at something. And I think it went pretty well, and I'm going to keep working at this to try to make these a little bit better. But if you are a pipe smoker and you're watching this video, every single one of us has some version of this, whether it's your finger, the ass end of the lighter, I don't know, this is a little small, but a screw. What am I talking about? I'm talking about pipe tampers. So, here's the very first pipe tamper I have made right here. And, yeah, this was more like a prototype just to see if I could do something like this. It's, as you can see, this is actually from 2 pieces of dowel that I glued together, and then I ran a solid steel core straight through the center, and I like this one a lot. This is my very first one that I've made. It's got a nice weight to it, so it doesn't take a lot of effort to tamp down. I like the size of it. It fits nicely in a bowl. So yeah, that's my first one. Once I realized that I could do it though, I went ahead and tried something a little more intricate, and then I made this one. Can you see it? Let's see. My hand's like the same shade as most of these pieces of wood. So this one is actually made of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think 9 or 10 different pieces of wood. Oh, and then just dropped it on my keyboard. Anyway, about, I think it's 9 or 10 pieces of wood. This one I really like because to make this one, my wife and I went down to the Rio Grande River, went for a hike yesterday, and I was actually collecting pieces of wood that I knew I would want to try to use for a new tamper. Now this one, because I think it's because of the wood that I used, is actually a little bit lighter than the smaller one that I made. It's probably about 1/4 of an inch shorter. This one is, and this one's a little bit lighter though. All the weight is mostly up here at the bottom, but this one, see some of the grain on it. Let's see if I can show you. So this one actually has some layers of pine, cottonwood, mulberry tree, because we have a whole bunch of mulberry trees down there in the river valley. And so I found a couple of branches that had been, torn off, blown off, or whatever, and they were no longer living. So I grabbed a couple of those, finished it off, and then I put another solid core steel core in there. And this one's nice. This one, I don't know if it does much for the visual effect, but this one I wanted some more kind of functionality to it. So what I did is I tapered right here so that you can kind of pinch it at that point and use, tamp it that way. And then I also put a little, groove down here at the bottom. So I figured, something like that when you're just loading a bowl and you need to tamp after your charring light. So I'm having fun making these. It doesn't take me that long to make them. If anything, the longest part of the process is, like with something like this, is selecting the wood, gluing it down, and waiting the 24 hours for it to cure before I start to do any of the shaping. But I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I've got another one that's currently gluing. Let me show you what it looks like when I start these. So when I start this, it's basically what it looks like. And so how am I getting a solid steel core? Well, I saw this on a YouTube video. I don't know the presenter who did this, but this is just basically a 1/4 inch. I think you call these carriage bolts. And so it's just I cut all these pieces. So this is what these darker ones. These are the mulberry. These smaller ones that are a little rougher, these are from cottonwood, and then these are actually some thinly cut pieces of pine that I've made. And I just run them through the drill press individually, and then I run that bolt through, tighten it, glue it, tighten it down, and this one's actually ready to go, but I'll probably wait till Monday or so to not Monday, the weekend. I got a lot of things to get to this week. I gotta send some stuff out in the mail and just some other things I gotta focus on. But yeah, so that's kind of where I started, something similar to that, and I ended up with this one. So pretty rad. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing in the garage, just to kind of take my mind off stuff. One fella knows, Jay, the recipient of the recipient to my giveaway. I was sharing with him. I recently had to put down a pet, as recently as yesterday. And yeah, it's just taking the wind out of my sails, as I told him. But just trying to find ways to keep my mind busy, and this has been an awesome way to do it. I'm really happy with. I got some plans that I want to try to work into these. I want to try to round these off a little bit, and I didn't really sand this down as far as I could. Kind of liked it. I don't know if you can tell, but you see this piece right here wasn't the cleanest piece that I had, but it left a couple like little chip marks, which was kind of cool because it reminded me kind of like at the top of like a smooth cob. But yeah, these are fun. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Gonna finish my pipe and gonna read my book and probably go to sleep. I'm tired. Southwest Piper, signing off.